Hi guys, I'm Brad from 9point8. Today we're going to be going over our brake replacement service. If you've ever installed a cassette before, you can definitely handle this, so let's get started. Upper brake assembly, riser tube, bottom plug, aluminum retainer ring, air cushion, rubber bumper, 4mm spacer, snap ring, bottom rubber bumper. Okay, so we're going to take our old brake that you just removed from your post, we're going to unthread the brake release tool and thread it into the new brake. Now we do ship all of our brakes with a protective shield on them, so you'll have to remove that before you begin your installation. Now with your post fully collapsed, you're going to want to take a paper towel soaked in alcohol on a wood dowel and insert it into the upper tube of the post. This will give you a chance to clean out any contamination that you may have from a contaminated shock pump, and that way you can avoid getting oil or anything like that on your brake surface. So now you're going to want to take your brake and a paper towel soaked with isopropyl alcohol and clean the brake surface to remove any contaminants. Once that's cleaned up, you're ready to install. Okay, now that we've got everything cleaned up, you can install your brake into the base of your post. You're going to want to make sure you don't hit the lower tube, just send it straight into the upper tube. You'll notice we have all the brake hardware pre-installed on there, so now we can get everything installed. Okay, now we're going to install our brake hardware, starting with the aluminum retainer ring. Now you're just going to want to push these down into the upper tube using a screwdriver. Take your time, there's no need to rush with it. They should all pop in fairly easily. Next we're going to have our air cushion. You might want to get that started by hand and just send it home with your screwdriver. Now you're going to have your rubber bumper. Next will be your spacers. We just have a 4mm spacer shown here. If you have different stroke options, you may have additional 25mm spacers. They can all get inserted now. And finally we have our snap ring. So you just want to get it started on one side, work your way around with it. You'll see a snap ring groove in there. You want to get it well past. Once you have it past the snap ring groove, simply pull out. You'll hear it click into place, and then you're good to close everything up. Now that you have all the brake hardware installed, you're just going to slide the brake the rest of the way in, thread the bottom plug into the lower tube. Now this only needs to go in there hand tight. Don't need to use any significant amount of torque. Just like that's good to go. So that's our brake replacement service. You can reinstall the post in your bike, pressurize to between 20 and 40 psi, and then you're ready to rip.